dates, and I'm always noshing, uh, eating something before we start our show. And I found a couple of dates, and these are so good. They're sweet, they're tasty. Mm. Well, welcome to Mark Alyn Cooks Your Dinner. I am Mark Alyn, and we are going to make something that's easy, healthy, very inexpensive, fast, and Barbara Blank, I think, will make it a lot of fun too. This is Mark Alyn Cooks Your Dinner. If you have a comment, let us know during the show. I have a question. What is this that I'm holding? If you know, let us know. Here we go. And welcome to our program. This is Mark Alyn Cooks. We're going to go to New Orleans right now and visit with our friend Barbara Blank from Clean Creations. Did I get that? I got that right this time, right?
You got it. That's it.
That's good. It's interesting when Barbara is from New Orleans. My mother spent a couple of years there, and I have a cousin from there. Um, you don't have an accent except on certain words. I
Yeah. I've been told this so many times that I do not have the traditional New Orleans accent. But I think it's once you get me, riled up about something, then you start to hear it.
Okay, got it. Or we usually toast with an adult beverage. You're not. You're going to be doing a Olipop?
Olapop,
Olipop, all right.
sparkling
And
probiotic drink.
got it. And I've got a Cabernet from Cabernet Sauvignon. It's 4 years old, almost 4 years old, from Bogle Family Vineyards. So Happy
Cheers.
New Year and happy holidays. Peace for everybody.
Yes. Cheers to that. I cannot believe Christmas is next week. Oh my
I
goodness.
know. So what are you getting for your? What'd you get your husband? Are you,
I haven't even gotten there yet. The kids always come first, right? I mean, the
Ye-
kids come first. We're doing a big kid bedroom for them that they'll never sleep in. So that's great. So just.
got it. Well, we're going to make a shepherd's pie. And I have to be honest, I've never eaten a shepherd's pie. I-
Really?
no, Carol has. I have not, and
Wow.
I have not made one. So we're going to make one today. We're going to start by browning some meat, I believe. So I have some organic beef,
Yeah,
and for
the
the
beef definitely makes the difference. So the quality of meat makes the difference. I like a good grass-fed beef, and for this, I think that a little bit fattier is better. So it just adds to the richness and flavor of this. No side dish necessary for shepherd's pie. Everything is all in there. So it's just a great one-stop shop.
got it. And now, oh, we're going to preheat the oven. I forgot. Thank you, Carol.
Thanks,
Um,
Carol.
yeah,
Carol's always coming in clutch.
yes, it's funny. Um, I'm preheating the oven to 400. And I'll ask you this, Barbara. Are you in charge or is your husband in charge? Or is it more like Carol and me? Carol thinks she's in charge, and I think I'm in charge.
I think we have the Carol Mark vibe for sure. I definitely think I'm in charge. Also, I'm a Leo, so anybody that's watching that's a Leo, like you already know, the Leo is clearly in charge of everything.
Well, that's
So,
Carol.
yay, Carol! I knew you and I we're kindred spirits. I can tell
Your soul sisters.
we
Um,
are.
yeah, I'm a Cancer, so
Wait,
moon
my
sign.
husband's a Cancer too.
Oh my God, we're living the same life. Isn't
It's a
that funny?
parallel universe.
When's your okay? My birthday's July 12th.
Okay, wait, maybe Dean's not a Cancer. I thought he was. No, okay, maybe Dean's a Sagittarius then, because he's November
Oh,
4th.
all right, we're not exactly the same. When's
Okay.
your birthday?
I think one of my kids is a Cancer. My second child's a Cancer. My birthday's in August. I'm August 14th. So I
Okay.
am I
And
am textbook
Carol
Leo.
is Carol is August 20th.
All
All right.
right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break the meat up. And I have to tell you that if you're a vegetarian, you could make this dish too, because you can use one of the ground plant-based meats. I don't know if, and it should, you know, if you're used to that, it'll work. So I'm
So
going to
medium,
put,
yeah, medium heat with just a little bit of oil in there. And if you're not going to use
forgot
olive
the
oil
oil.
as your cooking oil, I would use you can use grass-fed butter or you can use ghee. I love cooking with ghee. It's really like one of my favorite things to cook with. Because it's high in vitamin A, K, and E, so it's a superfood. So we love that. But olive oil is also perfect. And then we're just gonna brown. So just kind of browning it on both sides, getting it ground. I like my meat like really ground up, especially for this. I just feel like the end result is better with like really ground meat.
Okay. And how many people should this serve?
This serves a lot. I mean, I just made it and it made a huge pan of it. So, this is also something that's really great to freeze. So, if you're not going to eat the whole thing, you can absolutely freeze and just warm it up, for later on in the month or the week. It's a perfect thing to do that with. So, it goes a long, this dish goes a long way.
Got it. So we're going to let that brown up.
Now, Mark, you pre-did your mashed potatoes, right?
I I made a mistake with our mashed potatoes, and I admit it. As I have for the last 2 hours, I overcooked the potatoes to start with. Carol, uh, I overcooked the potatoes, and then I put them in a food processor along with some roasted garlic that I did and some sour cream, and I overprocessed it, so it's a little sticky. But I thought it tasted fine. Uh, the consistency is not mashed potatoes. It's more like potato glue with garlic.
Okay, love that. It's a little potato cement. It's okay. We're going to move right through it. I mean, look, this is the deal in the kitchen. Like, I think people really do feel um they feel intimidated by the kitchen and it's
Yeah.
just there's no need for that. I mean, especially with stuff like this. As long as it tastes good, that's all that really matters at the end
Right.
of the day. So, it's all good. But if you were not, so you already have yours done, but if you were making this at home, I would say one of the first things you want to do is boil your potatoes and get those in the pot boiling and cooking. So while you're sauteing your meat, your potatoes are going.
And I have to tell you that we used at your recommendation Yukon Gold potatoes,
Okay.
79 cents a potato at Trader Joe's. So it's a good deal. Um, and they cooked up really nicely. But as I said, I think I overprocessed them. All right. If you have comments or if you know what this is, let us know. Okay? Let us know. There's no prize. You just, I could mail this to you. Maybe we'll do that. All right. Yeah, you get the glory of that. Okay. Um,
All right. So while the meat's browning, we're gonna saute. No, I'm sorry. We're gonna chop an onion. So one onion finely chopped, and just a clove of garlic chopped as well.
got it. And I should do that in another pan?
No, so we're gonna add that right on top of our beef.
Got it. Okay. I think. Uh, oh, don't do it in another pan. I can use it. Can I put
Yeah,
the onion in now?
Mark, you're gonna make me wish I had a cocktail. Come on, what's
I
going on?
know. I know. I know. Okay.
Dang this non-alcoholic beverage right now. I need a drink. No, just kidding. No, you're
You
gonna
can add a little vodka to that.
oh, you already have them chopped. Look at you, chef,
Yeah.
killing it. Okay, so
They're
it's
finely
gonna go.
chopped.
Okay,
And so I can add those to the pot with the meat, the pan?
yeah, go for it.
Got it.
So just so everybody knows, I actually just made this for my family right before we went live with this, and it took me all the time. It took me like literally 40 minutes to do this whole entire thing. I mean, it was so fast. So anybody at home that's watching wants a quick dinner recipe, it's it's tasty and fast.
I'm turning. Carol?
Okay, turn it on. Adjust it a little bit. It'll flame up.
Well, it's not flaming up. Oh, there it goes. All right. Sorry. Garlic. Huh? No. Okay. I got to show you. So we got the onion in there. And the meat, and it is browning up nicely.
Looking good.
Okay. I'm going to add some garlic. Now, I always use a garlic press. And then I bought myself, look what I bought. I bought this. And
Nifty.
I use this. Carol, if you could come down here. What it does, the peel comes away very easily. So I don't know if that's a trick or not, but it's something that I do. And then I'll put.
I've been doing it the real archaic way of I take the flat side of my knife and put it on top of the garlic clove, and then if you smash your hand down on the flat side of the knife, it does the same little
Same thing.
trick.
Yep. All right, here, this garlic is going to go in now.
Yep, that's it.
There
So
we
garlic
go.
is sauteing down the meat, and we're gonna get that a little bit more brown. So here you want to be at like a medium to high heat to really just get the meat nice and brown before we start adding in our seasonings.
Got it.
And again, if you were doing this at home, you would have your potatoes. You would be peeling your potatoes right now. And normally, if I'm doing potatoes, I need it to be done fast because I have a minimal amount of time before my kids are asking me to do something. So I will have them peeled. I quarter them so they'll cook faster, and then I'm throwing them in a pot of hot boiling water.
And what I did was following your directions. I cut the potatoes into pieces and boiled them that way, and they boiled faster than I thought they would.
Yeah, they boil really, really fast. I know last night my girls were of course I cooked this beautiful, fabulous dinner for them that they never want to eat. Okay. So it's 9 o'clock and one of them is like, I'm still hungry. I'm like, of course you are. You haven't eaten dinner. So I'm like,
Seems
hey,
to be how old are your girls?
5 and 2.
I've got to tell you,
That's what Carly has.
yeah, that's what our daughter has, 5 and 2, and they don't like to eat either. But they do like to cook.
Same with my kids. They do like to cook, but they just don't want to eat it. But yeah, so anyway, I was whipping up mashed potatoes last night at 9, and it reminded me at that time how easy it is to make mashed potatoes. They cook so fast. So I was able to whip up a nice little mashed potato, put a little sour cream in there, a little cheese. They love that. So easy, easy peasy.
And what kind of cheese? We're going to use an extra sharp cheddar.
Yes, love that. But you can also go Parmesan is really good on this too, like freshly grated Parm. And you can even do like mozzarella as well. But when I made it just now, I used cheddar.
Okay, this is brand new package of Cracker Barrel extra sharp yellow cheddar, and
Perfect.
I'll slice some of that up when we put it into the oven. I had a question for you. So I've got right here. I have thyme. I've got thyme right here, and pulled it off of the
Yeah.
stem.
Hmm.
And then I also have from our rosemary bush, that. Should I chop that or should I leave the leaves of the rosemary whole?
Um, I would probably rough chop it.
All right.
Um, it doesn't need to be super small, but yeah, I would just kind of run the knife through it. And for the cheese, I would definitely recommend grating it just because it's going to cook. You're going to get a better finished product with grated versus sliced for this.
Got it. Carol's gonna be grating maybe I'll grate it on, well, I've got an old hand grater. It's probably older than I am. Okay. Can I put the seasoning into the meat and the onions?
Yeah, so we're going to go salt, paprika, pepper, and flour next.
Okay. I'm gonna put the pepper in first. Thank you. Just a tad of salt. We don't cook with a lot of salt. We cook with more pepper.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of the opposite. I'm a salty girl, so I don't know. My husband always fusses at me because he's like, "This is salty." I'm like, I don't know. I don't. I disagree. I like it.
I have the same exact thing.
Salty
That's why you
fan.
deviate.
Yes.
She likes it salty.
Oh, well, she's in the South.
But I'm saying that's where she and I deviate.
Yes, yes. Carol doesn't like it salty at all.
I do. I like I guess I like a nice balance, but I do especially with red meat. I feel like it just needs a little extra salt.
And
I don't-
I'm breaking up the meat a little bit more. By the way, the meat was organic, organic grass-fed.
Beautiful.
All right.
That's
So
perfect.
we've got. I'm going to put. Where is it? Oh, the paprika is here. How much paprika?
You can do about a teaspoon
All
of
right.
ground paprika.
There we go.
Beautiful. So we'll go ahead and cook this for about 2 minutes. We'll get it kind of married together with those seasonings. Did you add in your flour?
Okay.
She asked if you added in your flour.
I have not added in the flour yet.
Okay, go for
What
it. So
about
just
the thyme and the rosemary?
we'll wait on that. So we're gonna just do the seasonings and then we'll add the herbs in after.
All right. Now this is organic white flour,
Perfect.
and that should help thicken this up a little bit.
It does, yeah. It just helps to kind of bind it all together. I used gluten-free flour in mine, so if anybody that's watching is gluten intolerant or has celiac, gluten-free flour works perfectly fine in this dish as well.
Do you cook for a lot of people with that have gluten intolerances? A couple of weeks ago, you and I did a special,
Yeah.
and that'll be out after the first of the year on a gluten-free dish, which was really great.
Yeah, the thing is that, and I think anybody that has gone to Europe will tell you that the gluten here in America is not the same as the gluten in Europe, and so a lot of times people find that gluten it makes them inflamed, it gives them stomach problems. It's not everybody. I can eat gluten and I have no issues at all, but large majority of people feel like a lot of bloating and inflammation from gluten. So a lot of people avoid it. But the interesting thing is that when you go to Europe, you can eat gluten and bread, and you don't get the same results. So
Yes, isn't that that is interesting. I've noticed noticed that as well. So I have these over here. I'm going to take another slurp of wine. We've got the meat going. I have vegetable broth to add instead of beef broth, only because I had it open, and I try to use things that we have on hand. the meat. We were going to use some meat that was 4 years old that we found in the way back of our freezer. We decided not to.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. I'm not against frozen meat. It's all good. So you have a couple different options here. You can do beef broth. You're using vegetable broth, which is going to work just fine. We're just trying to deglaze the pan. Or you can use cooking wine. So if you want to add that little richness from the wine, that's an option as well.
Oh, I could use some of the cab that I.
Yeah, you could definitely use the cab for sure. So we're just trying to deglaze the pan. So if you've got the flour in there and the seasonings, adding a little cooking wine is going to help deglaze and just pick up all those, little brown bits and all the seasoning
I'm
off.
sorry.
I would use the broth first.
Oh, all right. So we'll put a little broth in, and this is pretty. It's juicy, is what I was going to say. So I'm going to
Yeah,
put it in.
yeah, you don't need a ton, just a little bit to kind of pick up the bottom, anything that's kind of sticking to the bottom of the pan. And this is like kind of have to use your best judgment here, right? So if you've got, a lot of liquid already in the pan, you just, you refrain from adding too much broth or the cooking wine.
Okay.
All right, so now that the broth is in, we can go ahead and add in 2 tablespoons of tomato paste.
Okay. Can I add any wine in at this point?
Yeah, you can go ahead and add a little wine in.
Just
I
a
would just say, like,
splash.
yeah, a little splash.
There.
How's it
Oops.
smell? Is it smelling good?
Oh,
Are we on the
smells
right path?
fabulous.
All right. Good. I can't. I can smell mine over here. Mine smells delicious, but I just want to make sure that yours is smelling good too.
Well, when you take yours out of the oven, it'll be done, and we'll be able to see it finished, which is great. I'm going to let it just cook a little bit more. Tell us what deglazing the pan means.
Yeah, I mean, it's just if you are cooking, you'll notice that a lot of your seasonings or, especially when you have flour involved, you're going to find that it's kind of coating the bottom of that pan, and that's a lot of where a lot of your flavor is. So by adding that cooking wine or a broth, it's going to help to just pick up all those seasonings off the bottom of your pan.
Gotcha. Okay. I have some organic tomato paste.
Perfect.
And we'll add that in.
And we'll just saute for like another, 1 or 2 minutes, maybe just about a minute until you can kind of smell that tomato paste getting fragrant. It should start to smell kind of roasted.
And I don't know why, but when I'm cooking, I like to use a wood spoon. Is that strange?
No, actually, it's not strange at all. I love cooking with wood. I even have one that's in the shape of a spatula, so it's got that flat, thinner edge, and I use that a lot when I'm cooking.
And I'm scraping up the pan so that we get all those bits that you were talking about.
Right, all that good flavor.
Now can I add my rosemary and my thyme?
Yes, sir. You can add it in.
All right.
So yeah, you can go ahead and add in that fresh rosemary. I know you said you got that from the garden, so the win that we get to utilize some fresh herbs.
And yes, we love fresh herbs. We haven't had much luck growing tomatoes during the summer, but we have had luck growing herbs. And in fact, what I've done, under Carol's guidance, of course, we'll let that cook a little bit. I'll show you a couple of things. So I bought some fresh oregano a few weeks ago, and I had leftover, and I stuck it in a glass, and it's rooted. And this is from Yeah, you can see them down here.
Cool.
This one is our rosemary, and you can see the roots there. One more. Last night, I made a brown butter sage sauce, and I had a leftover sage. So it hasn't sprouted yet, but we're starting this little indoor collection.
Love that.
Okay.
Amazing. Yeah, and with the holidays coming up, there's all kind of these fancy cocktails that you can make now with rosemary and
Yeah. Do you like
cranberries.
those?
And
Do you like those?
I'll be honest, I'm a very simple kind of girl when it comes to like I like a good glass of red wine. I've never just this is the reason why. Because in my brain, a crafted cocktail just means like a ton of calories. And that's always the way that I've kind of thought about it, I guess. And so it's like, I just am turned off by crafted cocktails because I'm like,
No.
I really rather not drink a 400-calorie drink. Sorry,
Got
rather
it.
not.
Once a bodybuilder, always a bodybuilder.
I mean, it's just in my DNA. What can I say?
Got it. Okay. Now this is thickening up nicely.
That looks so good. Yeah. Okay. So at this point,
Smells really good.
it
I
looks
think
amazing.
it's time. I may give it another minute. I think we're going to be putting it into our casserole dish now.
Yeah, so before that, you want to add in your vegetable blend. So we'll go ahead and get the mix in there. And then we're going to add in some more broth. So just about 2/3 of a cup.
So I am adding in
And the broth. Did you hear her say the broth, more broth?
and more broth. So I have to tell you, went to Trader Joe's and I wanted to get frozen peas and carrots, and they didn't have them. Oh, and we found this in the back of our freezer, but the date was modern. So it was, and so we have peas, corn, beans, and carrots. So I'm going to add that in. And this is about 10 ounces, I think, 12 ounces.
I mean, I think here's the thing I like about shepherd's pie, and I don't really know what its exact origin is, but to me, it's like kind of like the humble meal. Like the meal that like families cooked because it went a long way, and you can kind of throw a bunch of stuff in there, and like that's the way that I look at it. In New Orleans, we make red beans and rice. It's kind of the same concept. It's like it's a cheap meal to make. You could feed a lot of people with it, and the same thing with shepherd's pie. So, if you're making this at home, don't be afraid to, if you don't have peas and carrots or whatever, you can pretty much put whatever vegetable in there, right? You could do celery, you could do just carrots, you could do just peas. But this is what I love about it. It's because it's flavorful and you can really just kind of like look and see what you have in your refrigerator. Even if it's zucchini and squash, you could dice that up and put that in there. It's going to be so delicious.
I'm putting a little bit more broth in. And for the heck of it, Barbara, because I can't finish the bottle of wine myself, so I'll add just a touch more wine.
Okay. Bringing out the flavor of that red meat. I like it.
Yeah.
So this looks really, really good. So we'll just let all these flavors kind of come together. And then I would say saute it for another minute or so, and then you can pull it off and transfer it into your casserole dish.
Got it. So the other day, I was thinking about you because you live in New Orleans. One of my favorite cuisines is Creole. Do you cook Creole, or do you make gumbos?
I'm not really a gumbo gal, to be honest with you. I'm not, even though I've lived here my entire life, Creole cooking, it's not what I cook personally. Like, I just don't really cook that way at home, but
Yeah.
I do love Creole food. I mean, you can't live here and not love Creole food. So
Right.
there's a
Well,
handful of New Orleans staples. I just this weekend, I was craving beignets, and I haven't had a beignet in so long, but I'm like thinking to myself, man, to be able to live in New Orleans and just go get a beignet whenever you want to, I mean, it's a luxury.
it is, but they're 400 calories.
Okay, that's where you're like, I won't drink a cocktail, but I will eat a beignet. I'd rather eat my beignets than drink a cocktail. So,
I,
you know,
and the chicory coffee down there is really something. I really like that coffee. To me, it's milder than most coffees because of the chicory that's added to the coffee. All right, I'm going to let this cook just a little bit more. It's still a little bit, I think, too wet. It'll dry out.
yeah, so this is going to get topped, obviously, with our mashed potatoes, a little bit of cheese, and then it gets roasted at about 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. So, yeah, a good bit of that moisture will kind of cook out of it as it's being roasted in the oven.
So I'm going to take this Cracker Barrel cheese just at the end, and I'm going to use this side.
Watch those fingers, Mark. I know last time we cooked together, you got a little nick on that finger, so.
Yes, well, I get confused easily.
It's okay. I think you're doing great, Chef.
And you can use a Cuisinart to do this, but I forgot about it. And I could probably use the exercise. So,
Yeah, good old fashioned grater is yeah, that's
is that enough or more?
uh a little bit more. Yeah.
If it has cheese in it, Carol will eat it.
That's my girl.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean this is a man's meal. We got
Yeah.
meat, potatoes, and cheese. I like it. I like everything about it.
Yeah. All right, so we have the cheese there. What I'm going to do is, Carol, I'm going to move this around just a little bit. And turn that there. And I'm going to put our casserole dish right here. You got it into the camera there. And let's take a look, see. Yeah.
Pretty. So if you're cooking this at home and you're planning on freezing some of this, I would go with a 7 by 11 or something that's going to allow you to cut these into squares, because it'll just be way easier to freeze. Also, if you're planning on freezing it, make sure that you're cutting it when it's cold. Otherwise, it's going to just kind of fall apart on you. But once it's cold, it'll set up a little bit better and it'll be easier to cut. And then you can just kind of wrap them in individual foil or.
We don't have one that size.
We have like a Pyrex dish. Ask if
A Pyrex dish?
I'll show you mine. Green?
Would you?
Oh, look. Well,
Oh my, yes.
well, wait. Ask her if ours is big enough.
Well, I think it is. Here's our Pyrex dish,
Okay, wait. Okay.
which is 7 by 11.
Well. Here we go. We're working now. That's perfect.
Use that instead.
So let's do that.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's even better, I think.
Yep.
Take the pan out of the oven so you'll have.
Oh,
Or do you want to put that on the pan? I guess
yeah, I'll
you
put
can.
that on the
Yeah,
pan.
you're right.
Okay, I'm going to turn this off. And I'm going to scoop this into the. And oh, does that smell good?
And look at all the vegetables in there too. Like this is what I love about it is that you're getting, you get all your vegetables in as well. Great job, chef. That looks amazing.
Oh, it smells great. Really does. Now, we're going to go back. I'm going to put this here. um, like this, and I'm going to cover it with my potato mistake. And I apologize about that. I overprocessed it. So,
I think it's still going to be perfectly
but I
fine.
think it'll work.
So I know you said you use the Yukon Gold, those are great. You can also use Russet potatoes, which that's actually what I used for this one that I made earlier. Those cook really easily as well. So got some options.
All right. Now you work in Clean Creations with your husband.
We work together. Yes, we work together. He would argue the fact that he is the visionary, but I feel like I'm definitely the visionary.
Okay.
He's not going to tell you that, and he is more of like the implementer, I guess you could say. But no, we started Clean Creations together when we were dating
Oh
about 2
my.
years ago. Yes. And yeah, now I don't really do we have a culinary team that does all the cooking, which is amazing. We have an awesome, awesome team. And so Dean and I just help to just continue to grow the business and manage the business, and it's pretty awesome.
And you,
Listen, it's a tough gig to try to get people to eat healthy in New Orleans, but I feel like we're doing it. So
well, I had an etouffee po' boy and
oh wow.
a cup of gumbo, and Carol had a fried shrimp po' boy from
Oh my
a,
goodness.
a company here, place that makes that 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 does the does Creole. Okay, so I'm going to move this away, and we're going to come back here to our oven. Oh, forgot the cheese.
Sorry, I'm not guiding you in the right direction. Yep, cheese goes on. And then, if you're even feeling really fancy while you're making this, you can do a little fresh parsley, and even a little bit of smoked paprika on top. And then you'll pop it in the oven for 20 minutes at 400.
More cheese. All right. If I was going to originally slice this and not grate it, I don't.
Yeah, I think for a dish like this, especially when you're baking it, grated is going to be your best option here because you don't want like the
Chunks.
cheese consolidated into chunks. That's right. Yeah, you want it to be like just kind of lightly scattered over the whole entire top.
Now I'm going to put it into the oven. Whoa. I'm going to pull this out. Um, let's see if we can lighten that up a little bit for you. There. A little bit better. And I'm going to put this in. How long should this bake?
20 minutes at 400 degrees is perfect.
Well, normally I would taste this.
Well, I'm gonna do the honors for you because
Yes, you get to do the tasting.
I have the finished product, but at least in about 20 minutes you'll be able to do it too. So I'll go ahead and break into mine. So I'll try it. So good.
Can you do me a favor? We're going to go to a single shot of you, and we're going to. I want to see the fluffy potato
Yeah.
because my potato is not fluffy like that.
Poor Mark. I
I
mean,
goofed. Hey, it happens.
so
Barbara,
yeah. Like,
Thank you for your time today. I know how busy you are. Will you come back?
of course. I love doing this. It's so fun. I love it, love it, love it.
All right, we're going to maybe we'll do something in February. How's that?
Yeah, let's do some Mardi Gras themed stuff. How about that?
Ooh, that would be fun. Ooh, Mardi
Yeah.
Gras things. Well,
Yeah.
listen, hold on, Barbara. We're going to ask you to hold on. Don't go away. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. By the way, the recipe will be up on YouTube tomorrow or Friday for you to take a look at. Thank you for watching. We appreciate that. In 2 weeks, on December 27th, just after Christmas, the insane Daryl Wayne joins us. Daryl, yeah, you didn't know that, Carol? The insane Daryl Wayne is a radio personality here in Los Angeles, and he's a good friend, and he's going to cook something with us. I just know it's going to be spicy. Hit close. And I know it's going to be spicy and tasty. Have a great week. Happy holidays, everybody. We'll be back. We'll see you on the 27th. Bye bye for now. Thanks, Barbara, and thanks, Carol.